Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. So, as you probably heard, the Federal Housing Finance Agency head, Bill Pulte, has referred Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook for criminal prosecution over alleged mortgage fraud. And President Trump is demanding her immediate resignation. This is a developing story, but let's talk about what we know so far. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. So today, on August 20th, Bill Pulte, the head of the FHFA, accused federal governor Lisa Cook of falsifying documents to secure favorable mortgage terms. Specifically, Cook allegedly claimed two separate properties, an Ann Arbor, Michigan home and an Atlanta condo, as her primary residence in quick succession. And then she later listed one as a rental property. Pulte posted his referral letter on X, urging Attorney General Pam Bondi to pursue prosecution. In a post on X, Bill Pulte wrote, quote, U.S. Federal Housing, FHFA, alleges in a criminal referral to the Department of Justice that Federal Reserve Governor Lisa D. Cook committed mortgage fraud by designating her out-of-state condo as her primary residence just 2 weeks after taking a loan on her Michigan home, where she also declared it as her primary residence. When someone commits mortgage fraud, they undermine the faith and integrity of our system. It does not matter who you are. No one is above the law. We have sent a criminal referral to the Department of Justice with regard to the allegations against Ms. Cook, and the DOJ should go wherever the facts may lead them. End quote. However, no charges have been filed yet. Take a look at this coverage from Bloomberg Surveillance.
This was the latest this morning. We've been tracking this story. The director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Bill Pulte, is urging the Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate the Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook over a pair of mortgages. The president taking that story, putting it out on social media just moments ago, and writing this, that Cook must resign now.
This feels somewhat predictable in some ways because there has been a focus of reshaping the Federal Reserve. Putting some of the allegations aside, it just highlights how fraught this meeting is in Jackson Hole at a time where there is so much political focus on reshaping the way that they set monetary policy.
Framework review. How valuable is this framework review when we've got a lame duck Fed chair and an administration pushing to change the Federal Reserve as an institution from the bottom up?
Yeah, people will be asking that question, and how much does that threat kind of loom large over some of the way that these things are shifted? Look, a real question here, and this is something that the market is looking for, is how much credibility will whoever comes into the Fed continue to lend to the idea of independence, and how much will global leaders on central banks try to edify that message?
Trump also wasted no time in demanding accountability, blasting out on X, Cook must resign now. So Cook has generally been dovish on interest rates, aligning with Trump's desires, yet Pulte is investigating her. The left will be screaming that this is nothing more than political persecution and that the Trump administration is yet again going after his perceived adversaries. They'll say that he is trying to reshape the Fed with rate cut friendly governors. You just wait and see. And even if that was true, the issue is that they'll completely ignore the allegations, because who cares if she's committing mortgage fraud that both you and I would go to prison for, but how dare Trump go after a adversary? Either way it goes, proper oversight is vital, and fraud should be pursued regardless of political party, regardless of political alignment. Now, should Cook resign or face removal, it gives Trump the chance to appoint another Fed governor, potentially shifting the central bank towards rate cuts and more aligned economic policies. But we must ask, does the pursuit of loyalty outweigh the need for institutional independence? Historically, central bank independence has been a fiscal anchor, and political interference could undermine credibility and market confidence. This isn't an isolated case because Pulte has previously referred Letitia James and Adam Schiff for similar alleged frauds. Both have claimed political targeting. Schiff denied any wrongdoing, and James, who already took Trump to court, hired defense attorney Abby Lowell, who retorted that the claims are politically motivated. because she screamed that the allegations against her are baseless, with Adam Schiff echoing those same sentiments.
This investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless.
Now, here's the key developments to watch out for. Will the DOJ open an investigation? How will the Federal Reserve respond? And could this escalate into a legal or constitutional showdown over central bank independence?
Today, President Trump shifting his focus back to the economy and railing against one of his favorite targets, Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The president on Truth Social this morning saying, could somebody please inform Jerome too late Powell that he is hurting the housing industry very badly? People can't get a mortgage because of him. There is no inflation, and every sign is pointing to a major rate cut. Too late is a disaster. The director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Bill Pulte, is urging Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, a 2022 Biden appointee, over a pair of mortgage fraud allegations. Pulte alleges that Cook falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms, potentially committing mortgage fraud under the criminal statute. According to Pulte, Cook obtained a $200,000 mortgage in June of 2021 on a property in Ann Arbor, Michigan, agreeing to occupy it as her primary residence for at least a year. Just 2 weeks later, however, she took out a $540,000 mortgage on a property in Georgia, also declaring it as her primary residence. Pulte claims that Cook later listed the Georgia property for rent, suggesting she misrepresented her circumstances. And today, Pulte is even looking into another property owned by Cook in Massachusetts. Lisa Cook is a former Michigan State University economist whose previous work included exploring the impact of racial injustice on the economy. In November of 2020, Cook was named a volunteer member of Joe Biden's Presidential Transition Agency review team to support transition efforts related to the Federal Reserve. Also in 2022, Cook was approved by the Senate along party line vote to become a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, with Kamala Harris casting the deciding vote in her favor. No charges have yet been filed, and it's unclear whether Bondi will open an investigation, but President Trump seems to have made up his mind. The president posting today, Cook must resign now. If Cook doesn't resign, Trump is reportedly considering firing her outright.
In the end, we must all stand for accountability and institutional integrity. If fraud occurred, then it should be addressed regardless of party. So my question for you is, do you think Trump and Bill Pulte are holding corrupt officials accountable, or are they using the justice system as a political weapon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel. And tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.